Hey there, my name is Ezra Firestone. Thank you for joining me for this training on Facebook Messenger marketing. I've been in e-commerce now for over a decade. I lead a team of 70 employees across 4 different brands. In 2015, my businesses did $7 million in revenue. And this was kind of, for years I was kind of stuck in this this multi-million range, and I couldn't figure out how to kind of grow it. The breakdown of that was about $1.2 million from a brand called Be Friendly, about $2.2 million from a brand called Smart Marketer, and about $3.2 million from a brand called Boom, which I had grown from just a couple $100,000 in sales the year before. So I 10x'd that company with digital marketing in 2015, and it was really fun, really good experience. In 2016, my brands did a collective, check those flames out. That's kind of wild. $22 million in revenue. Zipify was born. My 4th company was born that year. It's a software as a service company for Shopify business owners. And I know many of you have Shopify e-commerce stores. Be Friendly grew to about 1.4 million that year. Smart Marketer grew to about 3.3, and Boom grew by about 5x to 17 million. So again, really aggressive and conservative at the same time. Digital marketing strategies were responsible for that. And what I mean by conservative is, I grew up with no money. I grew up poor and identifying as poor. And it was it's been an interesting journey to now be rich and take a look at some of the viewpoints I had about rich people that I didn't know I had. Some prejudices and ingrained viewpoints that I became aware of as I sort of went from one end of the spectrum to the other. And in 2017, we've grown again. 2017, we went from 22 million in 2016 to 25.1 million across our companies. And that's a more reasonable growth rate. Growing so fast really broke our companies. We, marketing, which was what was responsible for all this growth, broke support. It broke supply chain. It broke, it basically broke everything. And I've spent the last year sort of building an infrastructure that could support the kind of business that we have, an infrastructure from a team perspective, from a systems and processes perspective, from a supply chain perspective. And the breakdown on that revenue was Zipify in its first real year in business. It was only in business for about 2 months in 2016. Did 1.5 million in revenue. So the trajectory of growth of that brand is very fast. Smart Marketer, which is a similar business to Zipify, took me 4 or 5 years to get up to the $1 million+ mark in revenue. And Zipify, which was a brand that was birthed by Smart Marketer, was able to do it in its first year. So it's kind of exciting. Be Friendly grew by about 13%. Smart Marketer actually dropped in revenue from 2016 to 2017. And that's okay because it was, our focus was really on Zipify, and Smart Marketer sort of wasn't, it birthed something. And I'm going to get into why this particular thing is important. And Boom grew by about 9%, again, which is really good because our focus was more on infrastructure rather than development. Now, when you look at the advertising spend, now those of you who follow me, you know that my viewpoint is that paid amplification is the business model that you should subscribe to, right? I don't actually prescribe a lot of things. I don't say you should a lot because I don't really think you should do anything. I know what works for me. But when it comes to online marketing and e-commerce, I very thoroughly believe that the way to go is to pay for visibility for your brands, because then you're able to have consistent and scalable businesses that are built on the back of paid media rather than built on the back of joint ventures or traditional press or influencers or anything like that. In 2015, we spent $850,000 total in paid advertising. 2016, we spent $5.2 million. And this slide is messed up. It should say 2017, we spent $6.2 million on paid amplification across all of these brands. Now, I have a formula, and I'm going to tell you what that formula is in a little bit. And according to my formula, I spent exactly right these years. So my formula and my viewpoint about how you should reinvest in your brand is that there's a certain percentage of your revenue that you should be reinvesting back into paid amplification, whether or not it's profitable. And I know that you came here to listen about Facebook Messenger strategies in particular, and we're going to get there. So my viewpoint is that there is a perfect top line to spend ratio, those numbers that I gave you, right? 7 million in 2015. I go all the way back to 2005 when I got into this business and give you all my numbers. But I've grown every year. Started in 2015 just because I don't want to waste your time, And 2015 was kind of like the year between, that I grew pretty significantly from 2014 to 2015, and then 15 to 16, 16 to 17, and so on, 17 to 18 now. So those numbers that I gave you were top line numbers, right? They weren't. They didn't include things like cost of goods sold or my advertising spend or what I had to pay my staff, right? So those top line numbers look really fancy and awesome. However, they're not the whole story. They are just the top line revenue. But I like to look at it that way because it's fun. It gives you the best graph and all that kind of thing. But we are profitable. We have about a 25% ratio across our brands of profit, for those of you that are wondering what the margins are. So when you look at that top line number, there's a ratio that I believe you should chop off of that and reinvest back in amplification of your brand. I'm going to give you that number. But one thing that I really want to stress is that you need to set your budget. And I would recommend setting your budget by taking a percentage of whatever your business did the year before and having that be the budget that you are going to spend on paid amplification. And you need to spend it. You need to spend that money on amplifying your brand, whether or not it's profitable. Because most people look at their business in terms of like it was profitable or it wasn't, or they look at it in terms of 3 months down the line. But you want to be looking a year or two ahead, and I'll explain myself in a moment. So one thing that people don't really talk about is the year-over-year halo for their brands. So basically, like one of the reasons why Boom grew this year and Be Friendly grew this year was because we had what I call a halo from last year, meaning we had customers and subscribers and fans and people who were paying attention to us who we got into our community last year who added value the next year. So the paid amplification that you're doing to grow your brand is, it serves you even after the first year in business. And it's a really important part of business. So I want you to take that number of how I'm going to give you the ratio number in a second, and I want you to spend it. And I want you to save 25% of your budget for launches. So let's say, for example, your business did $10 million in revenue. Okay. $10 million in revenue. My viewpoint is that at a maximum, you should be spending 30% of that number on paid amplification, and at a minimum, 15%. So let's say you went in the middle and you said, I'm going to spend 20% of that number. That would be $2 million. Well, I said on this slide here that I wanted you to save 25% for launches, and we're getting somewhere here. I know this is a lot of math. Don't worry, we're gonna get into a little more fun with Facebook Messenger and some strategies you can use to grow your business. But I think this is something that really people miss and they don't understand, and they only look at, was my advertising profitable? They don't understand that the advertising is an investment in a snowball that is your brand that grows over time, and you need to do it whether or not you are profitable day one. And by doing it over and over, you get better at it and you become more profitable. I always say that the skill set that you want to develop as a human being is the skill set of mastery, which is simply the willingness to put your attention in one area consistently over time. Pick up the instrument for 30 minutes a day, you get better at it. Put your attention on paid amplification, which is the skill set that you want to learn for how to grow an e-commerce brand, and you'll get better at it. So let's say, for example, you did 10 million, which I know is a lot higher than a lot of people do, but let's just use that as an example. Then 75% of that, or 20% of that number, you're going to use to buy visibility for your brand the next year. And hopefully you're going to use Facebook Messenger, which is the strategy we're going to be talking about today. But just forgetting about specific strategies, just talking about how to have a brand grow over time. There needs to be consistent visibility and amplification of that brand. The money that you invest in paid amplification is the fuel that drives the car of your business. And if you're not spending money on advertising, you're not going to be moving forward in the way that you could be. So let's say, for example, you took 20% of your top line number. That would be $2 million. Well, I said I wanted you to take 25% of it and save it for what I call launches, which is like sale campaigns, holiday sales, new product announcements, Mother's Day sales, whatever kind of sales you're doing. The rest of it, whatever's left, so in this case, if you had $2 million, you would take 25% of it, which would be $500,000, and you'd stock that away for launches, for one-time event advertising. And the rest of it you'd set for a daily budget, which would be $1.5 million over the course of a year would be the daily budget. You'd break that down over 365 days, and you would spend X amount every single day. And a good breakdown, a good way to think about the breakdown on that spend would be half of that would be awareness spend. And this is not, it's obviously is going to be dependent upon your margins and dependent upon, what market you're in. But this is just a good breakdown for those of you who are interested in this kind of thing. And then we'll get into Messenger. So awareness spend is people who've never heard of you before. This is brand new people who've never heard about your brand. You're spending 50% of that daily budget on getting new folks to know about you. You're spending 40% of that daily budget on re-engaging people who have seen one of your ads, clicked to your website, viewed one of your videos, checked out a product, etc. You're spending 6% of that daily spend on loyalty sales content, i.e. trying to cross-sell and upsell past customers. And then you're spending 4% of that daily spend on loyalty content, which is literally just value add content for people who are in your orbit. Content that is not designed to sell anyone anything. It's just designed to add value to their life. And if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know that my viewpoint is that a business is pretty simple. It's a group of people who are having a collective experience, right? A group of people who are all having the same experience. And what you're doing is attempting to engage that group of people in a conversation about the experience they're having and then allude to a solution that you have to a problem that they're facing, right? That's like what a business is. It's a group of people and an experience that they're having, and then content that you're putting in front of them that engages them in a conversation about that experience and leads back to whatever product offer you have. Now, I want to jump in now. So this was just like a quick little reminder that one of the big problems I see in our community is people not consistently spending money on amplification because they're afraid it's not working. But the way that you make a brand work is you optimize it over time. And the way to optimize it over time is to have people checking it out. And to have people checking out, you have to buy that visibility. And if you're willing to invest ongoingly in the snowball of your brand, it gets bigger. And every time I have someone do this, I say, how much can you afford? $500 a month? $300 a month? $200 a month? $1,000 a month? What can you afford? And that won't put you out of business, that won't, take food off your table, that won't, pull from your, that will just money that you could afford to not see for 3 years, and when they consistently spend that amount every month, $1,000 a month, whatever it is, they notice that the next year their business is bigger and better because they put fuel into the fire. So I just wanted to remind you that you need to be consistently amplifying. And this is my little formula. I think 30% is aggressive, and that's what I do. I spend 30% of my top line revenue number on paid amplification, and this is a good budget for that. So let's now talk about what we came to talk about, which is Messenger. So in 2004 to 2007, I saw Google AdWords. That was the visibility source of the day, right? Paying for amplification for a brand on Google. And it was the search, find, buy days of e-commerce, right? Where someone would search for something, they would then find a solution, like they search for dog bowl, they find the solution on Google, and then they would buy. And I was very profitable with Google AdWords during this time period. It was a wonderful traffic source. It was really great. And then it got a little more expensive, started getting more expensive. In 2007 to 2012, the visibility source that physical product e-commerce businesses were using to generate sales was search engine optimization, meaning the same sales process where a user was going to a search engine and searching for a product and finding it on Google and then purchasing it, except for in this case, what we were doing was instead of paying for Google AdWords, we were still using Google AdWords, it just wasn't like the gold mine that it was in the earlier years. Instead of paying for Google AdWords, in this case, we were attempting to rank on Google. We were attempting to have Google consider our brand, our web pages, to be the most relevant result for a specific search query that a user typed in. And that was a really great visibility source for brands at that time. It was really awesome. 2012 to now, I really started probably in 2009, 10 with Facebook, but Facebook was the visibility source of brands. And the cool thing about Facebook was it introduced this concept of multi-data point contextual targeting. So remember the Google traffic I was talking about, where a user searched for something and then they found it, and then via an ad or via an organic result on Google, and they purchased it. That's search-based visibility, and it's limited. And it's limited because there's only X number of people searching for X in any given day. There's only 1,000 people searching for a dog bowl or whatever it is, right? And the idea of contextual traffic existed, but the only data point that we had on a user was the website that they were visiting. So we could say a user is on a website about cats, show them an ad about cats. And what Facebook allowed us to do was aggregate data points. This person is this age, they live in this city, they're interested in this, they purchased this in the past, and show people content that would engage them in a sales process about a product that they weren't even looking for at the time. They were not searching for. This really revolutionized marketing because it gave us the ability to target people with product offerings and story-based content that would resonate with them because we now had a bunch of data points on them. And it was extremely profitable in the early days, and it is still the number one visibility source for my brand. I told you I spent $6.2 million in advertising in 2017 to generate that $25.1 million in top-line revenue. Can you guess, those of you on this training, can you guess how much of that was spent on Facebook? Of that $6.2 million that I spent, how much of it was spent on Facebook? Go ahead and just, someone say 5.5 million, 80%, 2.5 million, 50%, 60%, 90%, 5 million, 80, 90%. Yeah, you guys are pretty close. So of that 6.2 million, about 65% of it was spent on Facebook. So Facebook is still a really amazing visibility source. It's still the number one visibility source for my brand, right? 2015, I saw Pinterest and I capitalized on that. Pinterest is a combination of multi-data point contextual targeting and query-based advertising. So now we get to sort of what we came here to talk about. I know it took me a while to get here. Apologize for those of you who only were interested in Messenger. But I feel like context is really important as we discuss new marketing strategies, which is why I gave you that context. So in 2016, I saw Messenger. And I really got started using Messenger as a strategy for building e-commerce brands and as a visibility source and an engagement source and a delivery of content source. And mark my words, Messenger will become the world's biggest marketing channel in the next 5 years. No question, this is happening. In the United States, in Europe, in Canada, in Australia. Like, this is going to happen across the globe. Messenger marketing is the leveraging of mobile chat platforms to facilitate conversations and commerce. That's really what it is, right? We're using mobile chat platforms. Mobile meaning a user is engaging with the digital medium via a mobile device that they are carrying around with them for the most part, and they are chatting instead of emailing or SMSing or calling to communicate with a brand and engage in commerce. And communication, we as a society are really moving away from email, from SMS, from phone calls as a way that we communicate with one another. And what you want to do is look at what people are doing and mimic user behavior, right? It's the reason that I tell you to run your awareness ads on mobile phones, meaning the first time someone sees you, have that ad be on a mobile phone, because this is where people are starting their purchase. And then the second time they see you, run your retargeting ad. That's when the second time they would see you is when you're retargeting them on a desktop and a tablet, because the way that purchase behavior is happening is users are starting on mobile and then they're actually purchasing on tablet and desktop. So if you want to cut your costs down when you're on a budget, you run your first ad, your awareness ads on mobile, and then you run your retargeting ads on tablet and desktop. So what we do is we look at how people are consuming the digital medium, and we structure our communications and sales processes to match that. This is that same thing. Communication is moving away from email and SMS. People are using Facebook Messenger, iMessage, WhatsApp to keep in touch with family, friends, businesses, even businesses now. And that trend is growing. This is how people are communicating. It's where we as a society communicate, and it's where we have our most intimate conversations. I don't call anyone. If you're like not my mom, I'm not talking to you on the phone. I text with my friends. I Facebook message with my friends, right? That's how I communicate. And that's how most people communicate these days. And you kind of want to look at what the kids are doing, right? Like, how is the next generation communicating? Because that's really what's going to sort of drive commerce as that group of people comes into their prime spending years. Like right now, for example, the millennials are just eclipsed the baby boomer generation as the largest population, and they're coming into their prime spending years. And they grew up with digital technology, so there's no technology adoption curve. They are willing to buy online, unlike Gen X, Gen Y, and the baby boomers who had to sort of adopt that technology and who were worried about it and didn't want to purchase online. So what people are doing, the point of all this is that people are messaging, and messaging is it's the easiest and most direct way to communicate, period. And it's why it's taking over. And it's why we want to pay attention to it as brands. Messaging has already surpassed social. The top 4 messaging apps have more engagement and use on a daily basis than the top 4 social networks, right? So WhatsApp, WeChat, iMessage, Facebook Messenger, they're bigger than Facebook, Twitter, et cetera. And Messenger, the cool thing about Messenger is even though it's not fully widely adopted just yet, even though we're in the infancy of what this will do to our economy, it still has it already has the highest engagement of any channel. It gets better engagement than email, better engagement than social media, better engagement than physical mail, better engagement than, any other communication channel. And that means that less subscribers are worth more. So you don't need a giant Messenger subscription list to push real results via Messenger, which is really exciting. And it's also sort of indicative of where we are in the life cycle of Messenger as a communication channel between businesses and consumers. And we're going to get into some actual strategy of how you can do this, but I want you to understand what Messenger is and where it's going first. And my data shows that Messenger has a 5 to 10x the value of an email subscriber. So one Facebook Messenger subscriber is worth 5 to 10x what one of my email subscribers is worth, which is kind of amazing. You can see here over this data period, the folks coming from Facebook Messenger are spending on average 4 minutes on my site. Their bounce rate is lower than pretty much everyone else who comes to my site from every other traffic source. Their conversion rate is really high. 10% of the people who come via Messenger are buying something, which is kind of amazing. And this is the part that's kind of crazy. I mean, look at this. This message was only sent to 8,000 people. 93% of people opened the message. On email, the highest I'm getting is 26%, right? So it's 4x. Email, 96% of the people it was delivered to. 53% of them actually went ahead and looked at it. And 14% or 1,100 people clicked the mail. So of a list of 7,600, I generated 1,100 clicks over to my offer page, right? Eventually there will be no offer pages and the whole purchase cycle will happen inside of Messenger. We'll get there. We'll talk about that. But for now, for the next several years, we're still going to be sending people from messaging platforms over to a sales process that is, not inside of a Messenger platform. But check these numbers out for a little bit, right? This example here, 5,000 people opened it, 1,300 clicked. This example, sent to 9,500, opened by 81%, of them, and clicked by 26%. So look at the number of clicks there. 2,500 people, and you saw how valuable these clicks are, by the way. These aren't just junk visitors. These are real high-value visitors. So 2,500 people clicked that from a list of 9,400. Look at this. Look at these numbers for email, right? This email was opened by 25% of the people, or 37,000 people opened it, and only 1,700 clicked it. So I generated more clicks and more valuable clicks from 7,700 people that opened this message here, 2,500 clicks, than I did from 37,000 people that opened this email message. That shows you the power of Facebook Messenger. An email that was sent out to 188,000 people got me 1,700 clicks. A Facebook message to 9,000 people got me 2,500 clicks. Should give you an idea of the power of Messenger. It's an extremely powerful communication channel that you can start leveraging, that is in its infancy, that is only growing. And this is not market specific. Like here's an example from Smart Marketer, which is that which is the brand that you're engaging with right now, where I do content that's related to growing e-commerce businesses online. 2,600 people opened by 72% of them, clicked by 500 people. You know, it's hard to get 500 clicks. I send an email to 60,000 people, and it's hard for me to get 500 clicks unless the subject or the email is about Facebook Messenger. You know, I want you to think of Messenger, like just understanding what it is, kind of like text messages and email combined. What it is a communication channel that you can leverage between a brand and a subscriber. So the other communication channels are like paid advertising you can use to get people's attention and communicate with them. Email you can use to get people's attention and communicate with them. And now Messenger you can use to get people's attention and communicate with them. And the reason it's like email and text message combined is because it has the instant delivery and attention that text gets. Because when someone gets a Facebook message, they click it and they open it, right? They don't have to go sort through an email inbox. There's no tagging and filtering. It's like, boom, the message pops up, they get an alert, they look at it. So it has that instant delivery and instant engagement thing that a text message has, right? And by the way, as Messenger becomes adopted as a channel, it'll have less and less of this sort of instant delivery and attention. But like, we've got years and years of value. Like, for example, I started with Facebook in 2010. Here we are in 2018, and it's still my number one source. You will be starting with Messenger in 2018, and I imagine that in 2024, it will probably be your number one source. And we're going to get to that. So it has the instant delivery and attention that text gets, but it has the attractiveness that emails have, right? It's got buttons, images, GIFs, and it has the behavioral automation that email provides, right? With email, we can say, send this email to someone who clicked this but not this. Send this email to someone who opened this email but didn't click. Send this email to someone who clicked but didn't buy, right? We're able to do behaviorally automated communications. Well, Messenger allows for the same thing, right? The same thing. And within 5 years, Messenger will literally replace channels like email, SMS, and even websites. It won't be a channel like it is today. Right today, for the next couple of years, it's like one of many channels, right? That we use to communicate. But it's going to be the channel. It's going to be like basically the only channel. And why do I think this? Well, let's look at a mobile-first economy like China. So China is ahead of us with relationship to how Messenger as a communication medium is being adopted by a society. And we are literally following right in their footsteps when you look at what Facebook Messenger is implementing with relationship to their functionality, right? Because Facebook has a billion some odd users, and they have all of the millennials, you know, and all the Gen X and all the Gen Y. They got everyone on there. And they're basically copying the WeChat strategy of China. So in China, over 900 million people use WeChat, which is like the Facebook Messenger service over there. It's the chat service that is adopted by the society each month. It is the way that people communicate. It's used far and away more than email and SMS. It's like how people communicate even at work. And you know what WeChat offers? Video calls, that's coming to Facebook, group chats, file sharing, all kinds of stuff. And in China, tons of bloggers distribute their content and have followings solely on WeChat. They don't have websites. They just have WeChat subscriptions, and that's coming. And the other thing that WeChat has is WeChat Pay. Right? It's everywhere in China. People use it to buy online, buy in store, order taxis, book travel, buy movie tickets, buy from vending machines, and the list goes on. What's going to happen is right now on your mobile device, right? So for now, for the next couple years until augmented reality and wearable technology become the way that we consume the digital medium, for now, while we're still carrying around mobile phones, by the way, in 10 years, we're going to look back on these iPhones that we carry around and think think that's really funny that we carried these giant devices around with us, these big old heavy phones in our pockets, because the digital medium will be in some form of wearable technology. Like Apple iWatch is the first sort of mass market piece of wearable technology. But now you're seeing virtual reality, i.e. augmented reality, and that will be combined with wearable technology, and that'll be the way that we are consuming the digital medium. It will be on our bodies, and I'm not super interested in that experience, but it's going to happen on our bodies and with us as we move through the world. And so, but while mobile phones are still the way that people are consuming the digital medium, so while it's not wearable technology, and while it's not augmented reality for the next several years, it's still going to be mobile phones. Right now on your mobile phone, you have all of these apps, right? You've got the Uber app, and you got the Yelp app, and you've got, you've got the PayPal app and the music app, and, you've got, Snapchat, and you have all these different apps, right? Well, what's going to happen is all of these apps are going to consolidate down into Messenger. So in Messenger, you'll be able to order your Uber, you'll be able to order your food from, your food ordering services. You'll be able to book your travel. All of that, you'll be able to pay for things, will be happening inside of one messaging app, just because it's easier that way. And Facebook was really smart. They opened their API to third-party services. And now if you look at Apple didn't do this, and now they're going to have to compete with Facebook. They're starting to open up their API and allow Apple-specific applications, Apple-owned applications inside of iMessage, so that when you're text messaging friends, you can do things like send them money and, buy movie tickets. All that is coming in iMessage as well. So the point is that Messenger, and particularly Facebook Messenger, because this is like the mass market, Messenger technology that we in America and Europe and stuff have adopted, is going to be the way that we basically do everything. And when you look at WeChat, 87 to 94% of users in China pay for offline purchases, in-store purchases, using WeChat, compared to like up to 50% in cash and up to 40% with credit and debit cards. And this is the graph that kind of shows that, especially in Beijing and Shanghai, which are their sort of tier 1 cities. So it's basically like even physical credit cards, plastic and metal credit cards, those are going away. It's all going to be on your mobile phone. It's all going to be through one sort of main sort of app, messaging app, which in our case is going to be Facebook Messenger. And this is just to give you an understanding of the importance of this channel of visibility that you have the opportunity to adopt, the same way that I adopted Google AdWords early because I was around and I saw that it was an opportunity, the same way I adopted SEO as a strategy, the same way I adopted Facebook as a strategy of visibility. This is coming. It is coming, you guys. And imagine, as a business owner who is engaging with a group of people about an experience that they're having and having relevant content that relates to that experience that leads back to a product that you have. Imagine combining those strategies and technologies with the data that Facebook offers. It's literally crazy what we will be able to do. The behavioral targeting, the upselling, the cross-selling, the one-click purchasing. I mean, it's kind of amazing what's coming, and we have the opportunity to take advantage of this early. And so I want you to imagine for a second. I just want to take you through a quick little Messenger scenario before I give you how to build a Messenger list and run ads to it, which I'm going to show you. So I want to run you through a quick scenario. Imagine that this will be your life in like a year and a half. Or 2 years, whatever. Imagine that you just ordered from a restaurant. Okay, you just ordered from a restaurant, takeout. You're in New York City and you use one of these apps and you order takeout. 30 minutes after the food arrives, you get a notification on Facebook Messenger. You get a ding on your phone. It's Facebook Messenger. It's that friendly, familiar sound that you love because someone trying to communicate with you, and you get that like endorphin hit of like someone just sent you a message, and it's the restaurant asking how they did. Right? How was the food? How did they do? How was the service on a scale from 1 to 10? You respond by clicking the 2 button. You're like, it wasn't that good. 2. Their chat bot automatically asks you what's wrong and how they can do better. A chat bot is a software program that is designed to simulate intelligent conversation through written and spoken text. It is a software program that is designed to simulate intelligent conversation through written or spoken text. So their chatbot notices an action that you took, i.e. you rated them low, you rated them a 2, and it's set up to respond and say, hey, what happened? How can we do better? Keep in mind, this is 30 minutes after your order, right? This is after the food came, 30 minutes later. You reply and you tell them that there was a hair in the food and it was cold, right? You're like, and I know there's a missing D there. So those of you that are pointing that out, I apologize. You reply and you tell them that there was a hair in the food and that it was cold. Immediately, keep in mind, we're only 30 minutes out of your engagement with the business. Immediately, one of their live customer service reps takes the ticket, they reply, they give you a meal credit, and they ask you if you want a replacement order sent out, right? So they take care of it in the moment, bang. And there was an automated engagement between their messenger, their chatbot, and you that led to a live engagement where they could fix the problem that they had in their business. Now, let's say you responded with with that initial 1 to 10, they reached out 30 minutes later, they said, hey, how'd we do, 1 to 10? You respond with like a 7, 8, 9, or 10. Well, in that case, the chatbot's going to thank you and ask you if you're willing to leave a review. Say, hey, would you, awesome, so happy that you enjoyed the experience. Would you be willing to leave us a review? We're a family-owned business and reviews mean a lot to us. Well, after you leave a positive review, so you go ahead and you do it, you leave a positive review right there in the chatbot. You say, this was awesome, which then they send to their website or wherever. The chatbot responds and says, thank you so much. Do you want to buy $25 worth of food for only $16 today only for the next 10 minutes? Countdown timer. If yes, click here to pay. You click yes, you buy it right then on the spot, one click. So they know you're happy because they have seen that behavior. You gave them a positive review. They asked you to leave them a review. You did so, and then they upsold you with one click. This is coming, right? How much easier is that than sorting through an email inbox, clicking a link, going to a terrible website and trying to leave a review on your phone? Like, it's so much better, which is why technology is moving this way, right? So as a business, you will be able to set up your chatbot to automatically message a user based on their last action. These are behaviorally targeted messages that are dynamically sent via Facebook Messenger. This is the direction that we're moving in. And this presentation, by the way, while I'm going to include strategies about how to get onto Messenger and adopt Messenger and get started with it, we're at the very beginning of this technology, you guys. What you need to understand is what's coming and set yourself up for it, right? So as a business, you're going to be able to use behaviorally targeted messages that are based on the last action that a user took with your business, and you're going to be able to dynamically send them via Facebook Messenger. So at this point, you should be convinced that this is a channel that you should be channel that's worth paying attention to. It really, really is. It's really the next wave of communication between businesses and consumers, and we're really at the beginning of it. It's so cheap to take advantage of this now. But the downside of right now is that not a lot of users have fully adopted Messenger as a communication medium. Sometimes people are still a little upset if you communicate with them via Messenger because it's so new, but it's coming. The market adoption is coming, and what you want to do is set up the infrastructure for your brand ahead of time. 95% of businesses out there have not adopted this yet. It is the very, very early stages of Messenger, and you can still be a first mover. You really can. You can still take advantage while it's cheap, and it will never again be as affordable to build a Messenger infrastructure, i.e. a Messenger subscriber base for your brand, as it is right now. And I want you to take action before the rest of the world wakes up and set yourself up for the future, which is what I'm doing, right? This has been my specialty in this business. I got lucky. I came of age as an e-commerce business owner. I grew up in this industry. I grew up as the world was adopting e-commerce. When I got online, people weren't buying online the way they are now, right? It was 2%, 3% of the transactions that were happening online, right? It's 4x'd in my career. Now it's 10%, 8 to 10% of all transactions, from the bag of chips you buy down at the grocery store to the thing you buy on Amazon, of all the transactions that are happening, only 10% are happening online. And that's going to double again in the next several years. So e-commerce is still growing, right? But I got into it when it was 4 times on the whole, smaller than it is now. Well, Messenger is going to be 20 times larger as a communication channel than it is now, and it's going to be it's going to take over in the next several years. So it's still really early years, and you still have time. So you're probably thinking, okay, I sort of understand now. You know what I mean? I'm having I'm starting to understand that Messenger is really valuable, and that I should be taking advantage of it and using it and doing it in my business. So you're probably thinking, okay, how exactly do we do it? How do we begin building the Messenger infrastructure for our brand? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm going to tell you. So let's jump in. Step 1, you want to sign up for a messenger communication service. So you want to sign up for a service that allows you, that connects up to your Facebook Messenger. And by the way, you're going to need a Facebook fan page for this, right? You're going to need like you need a Facebook account and a fan page for your brand. And you want to have a service that's going to facilitate the communication between your Facebook account and the user's Facebook account. I recommend ManyChat, ManyChat.com. This is what I use for my brand, right? And full disclosure, I'm an investor in this company. Now, I was using them before I was an investor. I happened to become good friends with them and think what they were doing was cool. And they offered me the opportunity to invest in the company because they wanted my strategic advice and they wanted me on the board of directors and they wanted me to kind of give them insight to how they could make their tool better. So you should know that I am endorsing this not only because I use it. I don't make any money, by the way. I'm not like I get an affiliate commission if you sign up for them. At some point, maybe the stock that I have in the company will be worth something. That'd be cool. But just want you to know that I'm an investor in that company. But I use it for my brand. I recommend it. So that's step 1. Get signed up. It's really easy to do. I think they're like $10 a month. I think they even have a free plan. Step 2, transition the audience that you currently have onto Messenger as best you can. The best way to do this is if you have an email list. Email them and ask them to Facebook message you. Here's an example from my brand, Boom by Sidney Joseph. Over Valentine's Day, I said, hey, because you shopped Boom's Valentine's sale this weekend, I've got an extra special offer for you. I want to give you 15% off one of my products. Just go over here and send me a Facebook message with the word sweetheart, and I'll reply back with a one-time code. So I'm taking people from my email list and I'm asking them to Facebook message me, which by the way, when someone Facebook messages you, they become a subscriber and you can then message them via Facebook Messenger. So you got to get people to actually send you a message on Facebook to get them to subscribe. That subscribes them, and then it's just like they're an email subscriber. You can broadcast to them. So if you have an email list, or if you have a Facebook group, or if you have what's called a retargeting audience, i.e. a group of people who visited your website, you want to ask them to Facebook message you, and you want to incentivize them to do so. Hey, I'm going to give you 20% off today only. Send me a Facebook message to give me the coupon. You could run an ad. You could upload that email list or run an ad to the people who visited your website and say, hey, click this ad and I'll Facebook message you a discount. And I'm going to show you how to do one of those ads later. But the point is you take whatever audience that you have right now and you start transitioning anyone who will join over to Facebook Messenger. And as time goes on, more and more people will begin transitioning to Facebook Messenger. So in this case, we set up what's called a keyword, right? A keyword, and you can see that at the top of the screen. And by the way, if you're setting up a keyword, and we're going to talk about keywords a little bit later, ManyChat keywords. But basically what a keyword is when it is your chat bot, in this case ManyChat, i.e. the system that's designed to communicate with a user who communicates with you. If your chat bot picks up a specific word, then it gives a specific reply. So I ask people to type in the words, to Facebook message me the word sweetheart, and then I set up a keyword that said if someone messages sweetheart or sweatshirt or any of these other words, because it turns out people have a hard time spelling, then reply with this. And we reply with, hey, thanks for getting access to our special Valentine's Day coupon code. Unfortunately, this sale is expired. Now you can be the first one to hear about it. This is the message that we set it to after the sale had expired. This is not the message that they got when they first when they first, were doing this, but this is now what it looks like. Anyways, the point is that you want to take whatever audience you have now and transition whoever you can to become a Facebook Messenger subscriber by incentivizing them to join your Facebook message list, offering them a discount, offering them a free opt-in bribe or whatever it is, and ask them to Facebook message you a specific keyword where you then set up your ManyChat chatbot to reply. And you can go to, when you sign up for ManyChat, they've got a lot of really awesome videos that show you how to do this. It's really actually quite simple. Step 3 is abandoned shopping cart JSON ad campaigns. So for those of us in e-commerce, we have these events that users take called top of funnel events and bottom of funnel events. And when someone abandons your shopping cart, that's known as a bottom of funnel event, meaning it's like all the way at the end of your sales process, or the lingo term for a sales process is a sales funnel. It's all the way at the very end. The people who abandoned the shopping cart, they were pretty interested, right? They got all the way into the shopping cart before they bailed on the purchase cycle. So at that's where you want to start with JSON ads. Let me explain to you what a JSON ad is. So for example, this is a e-commerce sales process that we use in our business. We start with a video ad at the top, and we're targeting people who kind of look like buyers, look like who are the most similar to people who bought from us in the past. We're sending these people from a video advertisement over to what's known as a pre-sale engagement page, which is a page that is an article. It's a piece of content. It's not a sales tool. It's not designed to sell anyone anything. It's designed to add value to their life through content that they're going to find interesting, that then leads to a sales process, which is our e-commerce store, that then goes to our product offer page, and then finally our shopping cart, right? So you have to get pretty far before you can abandon the shopping cart in our sales process. And you can see, if you look to the left of the screen, you see the video ad, and below that, you're seeing what are known as retargeting ads. People who watched 50% of the video, 75% of the video, 95% of the video, we're retargeting them with ads based on their consumption. This is behaviorally dynamic communication. So it's communications that are based on their behavior, whether they watched a video, whether they visited the article or not, etc. So here in the shopping cart, when someone gets to the shopping cart and leaves, is where this advertisement is where we are in the sales process. Of course, we've got other ads after they buy, like people who bought one thing and not another, et cetera, and ongoing. But this isn't about the sales process. What I really want to focus on here is someone who abandons your shopping cart. Right? This is a Facebook ad that you can use that will have the side effect of building your Facebook Messenger list, and it will work, and it will be cheaper to generate a sale than just. So what most people do is when someone abandons their shopping cart, right? Someone made it all the way to their shopping cart and then left. What most people do is they show them an image of the product that was in their shopping cart. So they run an ad to them that says, "Hey, don't forget that you had this in your shopping cart. Here's what it is." And it just clicks right back over to that product where the person can go back and buy it. So what I'm suggesting is to use what's known as a JSON ad or a JSON ad that is first going to get someone to subscribe to Messenger, and then it's going to send them back to the shopping cart. So for those of you that are familiar with Facebook, this will make sense. For those of you who are not familiar with Facebook, send this to your Facebook advertiser. You will be able to get the recording of this. The campaign, so Facebook has campaign, ad sets, and ads. The campaign is where you set your objective. In this case, the objective is messages, meaning you want people to send you messages. That's the point of this advertising campaign. So that you set that, and you can see that the name of this campaign is Cart Visitor Messenger Retargeting, meaning we're targeting people who have visited our shopping cart, and we're targeting them with a messenger advertisement. So then, after we've set our campaign and set our objective, we move to what's known as the ad set. Right? And the ad set is where you determine your budget, and you determine who's going to be seeing this ad, right? Like who exactly are you going to put this ad in front of, etc. So in this case, we have named this ad set Cart Visitors Non-Buyers, meaning these are people who visited our shopping cart but didn't buy. We've set the action is going to be a click to Messenger ad, and the reason that is grayed out is because when you set the messenger objective on a campaign, this is the only action that you can have in your ad set. You've got your budget and schedule, so like when are your ads going to run, how much are you going to spend, and that's going to be dictated by the size of your audience. Further down in the ad set settings, you get to choose whom you want this ad to show in front of, who you actually want to see this advertisement. So in this case, we're going to target people who visited our shopping cart and have not purchased in the last 60 days. So anyone who was a cart visitor but hasn't purchased. We're going to target folks in the United States who are 45 and over, who are women, because that is our demographic, right? So this is our targeting group, and this is the demographics of that. So if you're in this audience and you fit these demographics, you're going to see these ads, right? And we haven't gotten to the actual ad itself yet. And I would recommend setting automatic placements. And the reason I would recommend setting automatic placements is because this is so far down in your sales process. Like you heard me earlier say, hey, if someone has never seen you before, i.e. it's an awareness ad, they've never heard of you, then maybe you want to start and only target people in that pillar on mobile phones because you know that's where most people are starting their purchase journey. Don't target people on desktop and tablet because it's more expensive. You can save that for as you become a more profitable brand, you have more money to spend. Well, in this case, these people are really far down in your sales process. They visited your shopping cart and then they abandon it. So I recommend that the placement that you set is wherever Facebook wants to show you, right? And Facebook will know what placements can have the function of a user clicking the ad and getting a Facebook message, right? It's going to be on Facebook. It's going to be on Instagram, things like that. When a user clicks this ad, they're going to receive a message on their Facebook Messenger. So I recommend clicking automatic placements. Now, this is what the advertisement itself looks like. The text says, hey, limited time discount on Boom products. Click this image and we'll private message you 10% off our products. Then we have a link to the store for the people who might just want to go right to the store. Or ask us any questions you have and we'll ping you back with a response. And then there's an image of our products and a colorful call to action. And it says, click send message to claim your coupon. And then there's a send message button. So let me show you how we actually set this ad up. This is what I just wanted to show you what the advertisement is going to look like. And we'll get to that. So now we're on the ad creative level. So we set our campaign that was the objective was messages. We set up our ad set where we said target these people who fit this demographic, who are in this particular audience on these particular devices. And now we're creating the actual piece of the advertisement they're actually going to see. So we've got our ad name, we've got our Facebook fan page selected here. And as we scroll down on this page of editing our ad, we get to put in our image or video, but in our case, we're using an image, and the text of our ad that I just read you, and the call to action and message button for our ad. So we actually get to create the ad creative. And those of you who've been following me for a long time know some of my best practices with relationship to images to get people's attention, colorful design, lower thirds, things like that, hero shots of products, the stuff that I've talked to you about for the images and for the text in the past. And if you haven't caught any of that, you can visit my website and you can see some of that stuff. So as you continue to scroll down after you've created the actual ad here, you get the opportunity to have this thing where you get to set up a message. Now, this is like the part of the process where when a user clicks this ad, this is the message that they're going to get inside their Facebook Messenger. Because remember, the whole point of this ad is someone clicks it and then you private message them a coupon, right? You private message them and then they message you back, or they click a button in that message and they become a subscriber before they head over to your store. When you click this, you get two options. You get the JSON option where you get to paste in a bunch of code, or you get the standard option where you could build the flow out inside of Facebook. Now, I recommend selecting the JSON option and using ManyChat to build out the flow. So ManyChat is the chat bot, and ManyChat will give you it will give you a copy and paste of all this code that you can put in to this section where it says set up messages, which is going to give you a user flow that you want. So let's walk through it. So inside of ManyChat, they have this thing called growth tools, and you can set up a growth tool that allows you to build out a message that's going to happen when a user clicks on your ad. So you can see in this message, I show an image, right? So someone clicks on that ad you just saw, and they see an image of women that look like them. And then they get a message that says, hey, you've accessed our coupon deal. Just click the button below to claim your 10% coupon. And then you'll see there's a forward arrow. And when you click that forward arrow inside of ManyChat, it allows you to then show the response that's going to happen when a user clicks that button. So step 1 is a user clicks the ad. Step 2 is they click this button underneath this text. And by the way, as soon as they click that button, they're now a Facebook Messenger subscriber. So think about that. 2 clicks, right? They saw your ad in their Facebook. They clicked it. That's one action. You sent them a private message. They looked at that message and then they clicked the get my 10% off coupon. As soon as they've done that, they're now a Facebook Messenger subscriber. So you've already achieved at this. As soon as they click that button, you now have a Messenger subscriber. You're growing your Messenger database, which is one of the main things that we want to do as brands today. So this is why instead of having an ad that they click once and they go over to your web store, so instead of just saying, hey, here's the product that was in your shopping cart, go visit my web store, click this ad, and you'll go to my web store. Now you're saying, hey, click this ad and I'm going to private message you a discount, i.e. I'm incentivizing you to click this ad and I'm going to private message you a discount. So they click the ad, you private message them, and then they click the private message and now they're a subscriber. And so then once they click that message, we say, congratulations, you've successfully accessed your discount code enter this code at checkout, and you'll get 10% off. It expires in 24 hours. Remember, enter this code at checkout. And you can see that the buttons are links, right? When they click these buttons in this message, they're going to get linked over back to our store, back to the shopping experience. So 2 clicks out of the newsfeed, and now they're a subscriber, a 3rd click, and now they're at our store. It's really seamless. It's a seamless process. And the reason why we're starting here, the reason why I want you to start here where you're showing an ad to people who visited your shopping cart, this ad right here, and didn't buy, is because these people are interested enough to where they are guaranteed going to engage with your messenger process. You're going to win at this campaign. It's a winner for every brand that I've showed how to do it, every single one of them. And the reason is because these people are quite interested. And even if the audience is small, that's okay. It's going to grow over time. And what you're doing is you're building out that messenger infrastructure. And by the way, even if these people click this ad in their newsfeed and then click the message you send them and become a subscriber, but then don't go on to buy, you have added value to your brand in as much as you've grown your Facebook Messenger subscriber database. And we know how valuable those Facebook Messenger subscribers are. And we know that we're going to follow up with them later, send them content, re-engage them via this medium. So it's much better actually than just saying, hey, click this ad and go over to my website, because we're getting them to become a subscriber of our brand. So they click the ad in their newsfeed. We then send them a message that says, hey, you've accessed our deal. Just click this button below and get 10% off. They click that button. As soon as they click that button, they become a subscriber, and we send them a message that says, congratulations, here's the code, go shop now. We show them another image of the product, go shop now. This is another example of one of these ads. Someone clicks the ad saying they're interested in our new product. We say, this is also a JSON ad, right? They saw an ad on Facebook that said, hey, are you interested in our new product? You can be one of the first to get it. Click here. When they clicked it, we sent them a message that says, hey, thanks so much for your interest in our new product. Would you like to be one of the first to get access to it? So they say yes. Now, as soon as they say yes, they're now a Facebook Messenger subscriber, right? So you can see that 4,311 people saw the ad, right? 4,311 people saw the ad in their Facebook newsfeed and clicked it. 1,696 of those people said, yes, I want access to this product, and clicked the Learn More button. Those 1,696 people are now Facebook Messenger subscribers. As soon as they said, yes, I want more, then we said, awesome. Actually, it looks like 2,100 people, looks like the stats. Sometimes ManyChat's a little off with their statistics, but so half of the people who clicked on the ad became subscribers, and then went over and started to purchase on our store. So as soon as they clicked the, yes, I want this product, we said, congratulations, you're one of the first to get access to it. Get it while supplies last. And we showed a hero shot of the product and some unique selling propositions. And that was our JSON ad. And I'm actually going to give you another more in-depth example of JSON ads, because I think they really are the most valuable way to grow your Messenger subscriber base, and the easiest way to grow your Messenger subscriber base. The next thing that you want to do, besides bottom of funnel events, and the reason why I had you start with bottom of funnel events, i.e. add to cart and not purchase events, is because they're a guaranteed win, and they're a way to pay for amplification, a way to pay for subscribers that's going to work for you, right? If you're an e-commerce brand. So step 4 is to create a welcome message. So a welcome message is a message that users get the first time they engage, the first time they ever send you a Facebook message, ever. They get what's called a welcome message. Inside of ManyChat, you can, on the automation screen, create the welcome message. And the welcome message can be quite simple, right? This is going to go out to anyone who sends a message to your brand. They message you for support. They message you for whatever they want. You're going to send them a message that says, hey, I'm the Boom chatbot. Message me to get an immediate response. I mean, you can put whatever you want, but this is what we say about our Pro Age products, Cindy's blog videos, and all the best info about our brand. You can ask me things like, what is Boom Silk? Or who is Cindy Joseph? Just click Get Started. So we're sending them a message that says, can I help you in any way? Do you want customer support? Do you want to get started? Do you want to ask me something? And when they ask us something, and we tell them what they can ask us, those are keywords that we set up in ManyChat so that there's a response when they type that in. Notice that when they click one of these buttons, we have an action that subscribes them to our bot. So they now become a subscriber, and we can now communicate with them ongoingly going forward. And so when they click these buttons, we then have different options like, okay, what do you want to know about? Or do you just want customer support? You can see like 40% of people just want customer support, but 60% of people are interested in content. right? So by having this automated welcome message, we have content that's available for them to consume that might further engage them with our brand. It's a really simple and easy thing to do, and you can set it up in a couple clicks inside of ManyChat. It's called a welcome message. Going right along with this, with your Facebook Messenger infrastructure, is a main menu. Main menus are kind of cool. What main menus are, you can see it here, there's a little bullet on the left, is basically anytime someone is in your Facebook Messenger, at the very bottom, anytime they're engaging with you, whether you paid to get them to engage with you or they just sent you a message, there's a menu that they can click on that it will bring up a drop-down menu where they can get more information, right? So ours says, hey, do you want to subscribe to notifications? Do you want to know who Cindy is? Do you want to know other things, right? For Smart Marketer, I say, hey, do you want a free training on traffic conversions, repeat sales, or higher order values? Or do you want customer support, right? And so when someone is messaging you, they can click and they can see a menu that they can engage with. And a lot of people do engage with this menu. So in this case, if they were to say, select your free training, then I offer them the free training to select. So creating a main menu for your brand has it so that when someone sends you a Facebook message, which by the way is only going to happen more often as time goes on, if you're going to be an e-commerce business that is around, you're going to be getting Facebook messages. And Messenger is going to become a more widely adopted platform between businesses and consumers, and it's one that you want to have an infrastructure on. And part of your infrastructure is a main menu that gives people options of engaging with content about your brand, about us, customer support, view our products, things like that, right? Okay, step 6, right? We've built out pretty much a good Messenger infrastructure at this point. We got a main menu, a welcome menu. We've transitioned anyone who's already in our audience over to Messenger. We're targeting people who have abandoned our shopping cart or, whatever a deep funnel event for you is, a bottom of funnel event for you is, and we're trying to get them onto Messenger. Step 6, now that you've got a kind of a grip on Messenger as a communication medium, you understand it, you're using it, is what I call top-line funnel advertising. So getting new people who don't yet know about you engaged with your Facebook Messenger, or people who've engaged with you in the past but are not yet involved in Facebook Messenger. One of the best ways to do this for an e-commerce brand, an example that I want to give, is a new product announcement funnel. So I've showed this in the past once before on one of my Messenger trainings. So for those of you who've seen it once before, now that you have so much better of an understanding of Messenger through this training, this will make even more sense. So it starts with a JSON ad right here at the top, right? A JSON ad, which is what we just went through for the abandoned cart structure. It's the same type of ad, right? It's an ad that says, hey, we're introducing a brand new product. Be one of the first to get access to it. Just click this image and I'll private message you access to the secret sale, and then it's got some unique selling propositions about the product and it says learn more. So when a user clicks that ad, they see that ad in their newsfeed and they click it, we send them an automatic message with a call to action. So we send them an automatic message with a call to action where it says, hey, thanks so much for your interest in our new product, Boom Press Sun. Pray Son, would you like to be one of the first to get access to it? And we're again using ManyChat's growth tool functionality to create a JSON ad funnel that says when someone clicks this ad, respond in this particular way, right? So they click the ad, we respond with a message. Now, the user clicks that message, right? The user clicks that message. They click the message in the ad. They say, yes. Give me access, right? So we say, hey, thanks so much for your interest. Do you want it? They say, yes, give me access. As soon as they click that message, they're now a subscriber, right? They're now a subscriber that you can broadcast. You can find them in your audience of subscribers. They're on your Messenger bucket list, and you can broadcast to them. So, and in addition to them becoming a subscriber on that click, we automatically reply with a sales page and a link. So we say, hey, congratulations. You're one of the first to get access, similar to what we did with Nectar, the one that I was showing you before. Get access now while supplies last. Shop now. So not only do they become a subscriber that we can follow up with later, but we also immediately follow up and say, hey, go over to the sale. At that point, we start our e-commerce sales process where we have a special, new item offer page. This was built in our Zipify Pages tool. It's just a pretty standard sales page for an e-commerce product. Countdown timer, headline, hero shot of the product, some sales bullet points, etc. We also have exit intent on this page where if someone exits the page, we're saying, hey, stick around, enter your email address and we'll give you a discount. So we're trying to keep them in the sales cycle. once they add that product to their cart, then it's just a traditional e-commerce experience where, we have a shopping cart, obviously conversion rate best practices, testimonial, isolated call to action buttons, meaning the only time that you see that real bright green color is on those big call to action buttons, progress bar, things like that. Then our checkout experience where a user can buy from us. And then we have post-purchase one-click upsells where we're attempting to increase our average order value by offering upsells in the purchase cycle where we're offering users a one-time discount on a product if they buy now. So more traditional e-commerce stuff that I've taught you in the past. Then our thank you page. Hey, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Look at this ad, right? Here's the stats on this. 4,000 people clicked this ad. 4,000 people clicked the ad from Facebook. They said, hey, I'm interested in this product. They clicked on that ad and we sent them a message. 2,700 people then became Facebook Messenger subscribers. They clicked the link in that message that we sent them. They clicked this button down at the bottom that says, yes, give me access. And then we sent a message that sent them over. And 2,000 of those people actually went over and visited our website. This is the full sales copy that we sent them once they said, yes, I want access to this. We sent them some sales copy and then sent them over to our webpage. This is not the only way to use JSON ads. There's a lot of ways to use JSON ads, but it's a really easy one, right? Announcing new products, running sale events to your past subscribers, doing discounts on Amazon. I've shown some JSON sales funnels for Amazon business owners who are doing doing product giveaways and things like that. And then step 7 is you really want to get aggressive with your use of keywords in your sales processes. Keywords are these things where when someone types in a particular word that you've directed them to type in, you set up a specific response. And by the way, as soon as they type that word into your messaging, now they're a subscriber and you can follow up with them over time. Some things that I want you to remember, because I know I told you I'd only keep you here for an hour and we've now reached the hour mark. Things I want you to remember about Facebook Messenger is it's not about volume, it's about quality, right? Those of you who are familiar with the 1,000 True Fans, you know that think about it. 9,000 Facebook Messenger subscribers was worth 2,500 clicks, over and over. I don't have a ton of Facebook Messenger subscribers because we're just building out this infrastructure for our brand. Even though we've been at it for a year, we're still getting better at it, right? And the people haven't fully adopted this technology, and a lot of people unsubscribe. But that's okay, because it's not about a whole ton of people. It's about good quality subscribers who are interested in relating with you, who you're responding to behaviorally. It's also about building the infrastructure for the future. We know this is where commerce is moving. We know this is where communication is moving. So start now. Even if it's only 10%, 5% of your attention goes to Facebook Messenger marketing, it's still worth it. Because 12 months from now, when this is way more adopted by society and the mainstream, that businesses communicate with consumers and prospects via Messenger, you will have been following it and you will have a better infrastructure than every other brand. You'll have an audience. You'll have been following it for a year at that point, and all kinds of new technology will be available at that time that you'll be able to implement much easier because you'll have the infrastructure. Always include the unsubscribe option. So every single message that I send, even the ones that are just content, I include the ability for a user to unsubscribe. So I say, hey, I have this new thing that I want to send you. It's a blog post. And then I say, do you want to, they can say, yes, send it to me now. They can say, no, not right now. Or they can say, unsubscribe. I put that up front and center. I don't want people on my list who don't want to hear from me, and I want to make it super easy to unsubscribe because I don't want to upset Facebook and I don't want to upset any users. And sometimes people are still a little surprised when you Facebook message them, especially right now. It won't be that way in 12 months, but especially right now. So always put unsubscribe as an option in every message that you send. This is the best time to get started. The technology is still growing. So, there's going to be bugs. There's going to be reporting errors. You're not going to be able to do every single thing that you want to do because it's still it's still growing. For example, I have a Facebook Messenger for e-commerce application for Shopify store owners that's going to be available in I think the beta for it will be available in 6 weeks and it'll be widely available in 2 to 3 months. we're building technology to service this market, and you just have to wait. The technology will catch up to the use cases, but it's still pretty powerful right now. Users are adopting Messenger by the day. They're getting more and more comfortable with businesses messaging them, and it's the wild west right now. It's the time to. It's like when I took advantage of Google AdWords, when I took advantage of search engine optimization, when I took advantage of Pinterest, when I took advantage of Facebook marketing. It was all right when that came out. And it allowed me to get good at it early, to develop an infrastructure for my brand that was cheap, because it was the early days. Like right now, for example, it doesn't cost any money to send a user a Facebook message. Guess what? That's not going to be the case forever. Facebook's going to start charging you to send messages to users the same way that email service providers charge you to send messages to users. That is coming. It's not there yet, right? So you can take advantage of sending messages, but while it's free. Now, this is the part where I'm going to offer you an in-depth training with me on how to go deeper with Messenger. So if you are not interested in training with me, then you can hop off now and you can use all these strategies that I gave you, and you have a much better understanding of Messenger and how to use Messenger for e-commerce as it is today, and where Messenger is going, and it will serve your brand, and you should definitely do it, and you should definitely take advantage of Messenger and use it, and use advertising to grow your Messenger subscription database, use main messages, use main menus, welcome messages, transition your current audience, run JSON ads for bottom of funnel events, run top of funnel JSON ads as well. Get in there and start building. Basically, just put attention on building your Messenger subscriber database. It's really that simple. It's easy to do. It's still very early. You can get out there and you can find good information on the ManyChat blog. You can find a lot of stuff out there that'll help you. So if you're not interested in any further training with me, this is the time to hop off. If you are, and you could do all this by yourself, you can get whatever results that you get. And if you are interested in training with me, then here's your opportunity. So you could swipe my campaigns as I build them. I'd love to give you that opportunity to build your Messenger infrastructure along with me as I build my Messenger infrastructure. And to that end, I'm introducing one of our new training programs at Smart Marketer called Smart Facebook Messenger Beta. This is the beta group. I only ever do, and many of you have been through many of my courses in the past, Facebook Video Ads Mastery or Smart Project Management or e-commerce email marketing or whatever, been through my training programs, and you know that I only ever do one live beta class for every course that I create, and then I go back and I redo it professionally. Professionally, I mean that like I'm shooting it in a professional studio, not that the content is not good in the beta. And the reason that I do a 4-week live look over my shoulder, in this case, Facebook Messenger Infrastructure Building Bootcamp. But the reason why I do that is because by doing it live with you, then I learn kind of where people are getting stuck, what the content needs to look like, what people are most interested in, and then I go back and I create my evergreen version based on that information. And the value that you get is you get my live attention. You get to ask me questions live. You get to have me break down and get Q&As. You get my actual live attention, and you get for free the professionally recorded version once it's done, which will have different content, and you'll have the first version and the second version. You get that for free, and you get a discount. So you could, I'd love to have you swipe my campaigns. This is a 4-week live training, 4 weeks live with me as we build out your Facebook Messenger e-commerce infrastructure. You get to copy my welcome messages, my main menus, my JSON funnels, and more. We're going to be talking about welcome messages. We're going to be talking about main menus. We're going to be talking about getting subscriptions, getting people onto your Facebook Messenger. I covered as many strategies, the ones that I thought were the easiest to implement here in the hour that I had with you. I find that people just like completely tune out after an hour, so I had to keep it to an hour. But we'll be going deep into how to get more subscribers. What are the best ways to get subscribers? How do you incentivize subscription? Once someone subscribes, how do you build out a flow to get them to engage and consume? And that is my JSON Ads Masterclass, where we really dive into leveraging even low dollar paid amplification to grow your Messenger database. Because at this point, it's not even about being super profitable. I mean, yes, you want to be profitable, obviously, and it's easy to be profitable in certain areas and harder to be profitable in other areas, but it's about spending a little bit of money, even $100 a month. I mean, I don't really care what it is, whatever you've got to grow this database that is going to serve you in the future. We're going to go over our ManyChat flows, which are those content engagement sequences where when someone clicks this, you show them that. When they click this other thing, you show them that. How to tag people, how to build out flows using ManyChat. More bottom of funnel ads that I have for you, especially post-purchase bottom of funnel ads, which are really great. Ongoing broadcasting strategies. So how do you keep people engaged with Facebook Messenger once they become a subscriber? And that is a really important part of this whole system that I wasn't able to really dive deep in this training. And that is one that is going to be really valuable because I don't know if you noticed this, but when I showed you the data, I was like, look at this, 1,200 opens on this message, 1,200 opens on this message, and then bang, 2,500 opens on our holiday sale message. Holiday sale message, the sale message got 2,500. So double the amount of opens basically as all of our other messages. The reason is because we had been broadcasting to people ongoingly with content, which allowed our sales communication to be well received, right? And my email opt-in to Messenger campaign. So how to get people into not only Messenger, but also to become an email subscriber. So you're ending up getting 2 subscriptions in one with a JSON ad. Also, every Messenger JSON ad funnel that I've ever run to date, including all of my Amazon JSON ad funnels, how to do those, how to use my booster page single-use coupon functionality with JSON ads. So all the, essentially a JSON ad swipe file. And there's one person out there who I believe to be just a master of messenger marketing, and I've gotten her to agree to give us a masterclass. Her name is Molly Pittman. She's well known from Digital Marketer. She's really amazing. She's an amazing Facebook advertiser, and she's going to do a masterclass with us and just give us her best stuff on how to make Messenger work for e-commerce brands. And she's really good, and that'll be a live bonus call. That will not be one of the 4 weeks. That will be a 5th. And this is only for you folks in the beta who will get to be there live with Molly Pittman, a 5th week essentially, but it won't be immediately following the course, probably be a week or 2 in between the course and when we get Molly on. Also, a bonus is 1 year of my Zipify Messenger when it's released. Now, I told you that the technology is still being developed for Messenger. It's still early. Well, imagine the kind of behaviorally targeted technology that says, someone bought this from your store, but not this. Send them this message in Messenger and sell them that, right? Like the ability to do cross-selling and upselling and abandoned cart messages and things like that right inside of Messenger. You can see that we're pretty far with it, right? It's called Zipify Messenger. This is an example of it in a Shopify store, setting up things like abandoned cart messages and post-purchase upsell messages. It's probably going to be available in 6 weeks. At the latest, I'd say 2 to 3 months. We're almost done, as you can see here. And you'll get a free year of it when you join this Messenger training. You get to use this for free for a year. And then after the year, you can just become a paid subscriber. It's not super expensive, but it is an amazing tool, and you'll be the first to use it, and you get a year for free. So you're probably thinking, all right, that sounds interesting. I'm potentially interested in your Messenger, your live Messenger bootcamp, Smart Facebook Messenger beta, live with me. How much is it? How much do I have to pay? Well, if you know anything about my courses, then you know that in general, our training courses are $1,497. That is what we charge. That is under market value of what other people charge for trainings like this. Considering I consider our trainings top in class, I think it's a really fair price and allows us to, have staff that can support the course and have live chat support for you when you're inside the course and professionally produce it and, all that kind of thing. But that's not what the beta is going to cost. If you're willing to be a part of the beta, meaning you're willing to actually go through it live with me and give me feedback, doesn't mean you have to actually show up to the live calls because they'll all be recorded and you'll get them in the members area, but I want your participation and feedback in the beta so that I can make the final recording as good as possible. And I want to incentivize you by offering you a discount. This is the only time this training will be $997. So you save $497, actually a little bit more than that, about $500 exactly is what you save, about 33%. You can go to smartmarketer.com/go to join and by the way, I will get to all your questions in the chat here. I see there's a lot of them, so I'll get in and start answering your questions. I'm almost done here. So smartmarketer.com/go, and you can join Smart Facebook Messenger Beta, which is a live 4-week web class with me on how to build out the Facebook Messenger infrastructure for your brand. And I do always have I put my money where my mouth is. I have a full 30-day, 100% money back guarantee, which means if you don't like this for any reason, I'm going to give you your money back because I stand behind my products. I believe in my products. I believe in my trainings, and I believe that they are high quality, and I put my heart and soul into them. And we have a very, 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 very low refund rate. And the reason is because we provide real value. So you can know that your purchase is safe. It's risk-free. If you don't like it, you can get a refund, but you're going to like it, and it's going to help you grow your brand. So you don't have to worry about that. So just a quick recap, 4 weeks live with me. We're going to go over welcome messages, main menus, how to get subscribers, our JSON ad masterclass, many chat flows, bottom of funnel ads, ongoing broadcasting strategies, my email opt-in and messenger campaign, my JSON ad swipe file, the bonus of Molly Pittman's masterclass. She's really, really great at Facebook Messenger marketing. 1 year of Zipify Messenger access when it's available. It's not quite ready yet, but when it's available, you get it for 1 year from the date that you get access to it, not the date you purchase. Live breakdowns and Q&A with me. You get my actual live attention. Session 1 is Wednesday, January 17th. So 12 days from now, we're going to kick off Session 1. And smartmarketer.com/go. 33% discount, only $9.97. Facebook Messenger Beta, Smart Facebook Messenger Beta. You can go to smartmarketer.com/go. So now I will answer your questions. I'd love to have you in the group. So give me just 1 second to take a sip of water, and then I will start answering your questions. All right. So let's hop into the questions here. I'm in. How do I obtain the link to my Facebook Messenger? How do I obtain them? Well, thanks for joining, Karen Thomas. I'm not sure what your question means, but you can send it into support, and one of my team will respond to you. By the way, it is a live web class that starts on January 17th. So there's really nothing to get for 12 days other than the fact that you're a part of the beta and that you're in. Hey, Ezra, great presentation as always. Do you use Shopify Messenger Intercom in conjunction with ManyChat, or is ManyChat running all Messenger functions with without the Shopify integration? Yeah, at this point, we don't have Shopify Messenger integration turned on. We're going to be using our Zipify Messenger application as soon as it's ready for all of our Shopify-related messaging. I live in New Zealand. One problem I have Facebook is it's difficult to target here because of the lack of data, because of our small population. Would Messenger help me with this issue? I don't know if it'll help you with targeting. It's really about It's really a channel, a way of getting people into your database and into your communication cycle. So I don't think it's going to help you with targeting. Will Zipify Messenger be able to work with Shopify buy buttons or be able to integrate with WordPress if using a plugin to put Facebook Messenger on a WordPress site? Will ManyChat still pick it up and utilize this, or is this all limited to Shopify stores? Well, Zipify Messenger is going to be specific to Shopify stores, but ManyChat is not. ManyChat is for any Facebook Messenger service. Will there be a replay of this? Yes, there will be. Will the Zipify Shopify integration work with Recharge or any subscription service or an upsell app like CartHook or One-Click Upsell? Yeah, it will. You'll be able to click from Zipify Messenger over to whatever checkout you're using on your store. But by the way, don't buy this just because you want the Zipify Messenger bonus. If you only want Zipify Messenger, which is a communication service that sort of connects to your Shopify store and allows you to communicate with people based on their behavior on your site, just buy that. This is really if you want to go deep on building out an infrastructure for your e-commerce store that goes, and I'm going to be doing bonuses all throughout the year. I'm going to be, talking about new messenger campaigns we're running and stuff like that. It's going to be a 4-week live web class with a bonus from Molly Pittman. That's all I'm promising, but I will add more content. I live in Nicaragua. While you're running these classes, and don't get back till February 3rd. You said the courses will be recorded, will be the place to go and ask questions once the videos aren't live. Yeah, you can go into our live chat. So when you're in the members area, you can go in and you can live chat with us, and we'll be there. Even if you're not on it live. But you won't get my attention at that point. It'll be my customer support who can respond to you. If you want me to actually do breakdowns of you want to ask me questions live, you have to actually show up. But you still, even if you can't show up live and get your questions answered live, you can write them in during the 4-week. So you can write in questions ahead of time if you have them. You get the discount, and you get, by the way, you get the fully recorded version. So you end up getting 2 courses for one, right? The course that we're going to end up selling for $1,500, you're getting for free as well. And it will be different than the 4-week beta. It will have different stuff in it. It'll be fairly similar, right? Because it's it's version 2, but it'll be updated because we'll have more information. I don't have a business, a website, or products. I've never sold anything online. Do you think it's too early to buy this? Yes. Don't buy this. This is not for you if you don't have a website or a business. This is really for people who have brands and want to leverage Facebook Messenger as a way to amplify their brands and grow their brands and communicate with their subscribers and adopt this technology, I highly recommend, do not purchase this if you don't have a brand. You need to go find a business opportunity training or some kind of training that is designed to, help you get started. Okay. Let's see what we have here. I missed the first part of this presentation. Would you rank Messenger ads compared to other ads, especially Facebook? Yeah, I think Messenger's only going to grow. I think it's only going to grow. I think it's only going to get bigger. I think it's at the very, very early stages. I think it's, it's going to be a small channel for a while, but it's going to explode at some point. We're going to reach a tipping point where it really just kind of takes off. And we're not there yet. We're still really in the early days of it. Let's see. Can you show us? Let's see. What do we got here? What's the difference between ManyChat and Zipify Message? Can I use one or the other? Well, ManyChat is more of a all-encompassing broadcasting service to broadcast to groups of subscribers, and Zipify Messenger is really going to be related to the Shopify purchase flow. So, communicating with people who are specifically in a purchase flow on your Shopify store. Are you going to show the exact flow and messages you are using in your business during this training? Yes, I am. I am going to do that. You're going to get the exact ones that I'm using and also what Molly's using. Let's see. Do you know when you're doing your Pinterest update? We don't actually have a Pinterest update at this time. We were thinking about doing Pin Commerce 3.0, but Pinterest has become less and less of a channel for us in as much as they don't have age restrictions. And because they don't have age restrictions, they're a really hard platform for us to leverage because all of our buyers are 55 plus. And if we can't restrict the age, now that Pinterest has gotten more expensive, it's no longer just like 10 cents to buy a click. It's like more expensive like Facebook and like Google. They need to include age restrictions or we can't really use them. So we're mainly using them for retargeting at this time. Can we pay with PayPal? Yes, you can. You can just email us if it's not on there. Are you familiar with Chatmatic? I am not familiar with Chatmatic, although I do know there's Chat Fuel. There's a ton of chat bots out there. If I have no clients, can I use Messenger for brand awareness? You certainly can, but if you don't have any clients, meaning like you really don't have a business, again, I don't think that this is a good purchase for you. Would Zipify Messenger be able to work with Facebook Messenger? So Zipify Messenger, you kind of be using instead of, it's going to work with Facebook Messenger. It's the whole point. It's going to send people messages inside of Facebook. But you would be using it in lieu of ManyChat in certain places, right? During the Shopify purchase flow. Is this going to perform better than Google ads for e-commerce? Google ads perform really well. They're just extremely expensive. So it's definitely going to be cheaper. I have a ManyChat competitor. Can it be used in the training? Sure. I'm not going to show it because I don't know how to use your product, but you can use any chat bot you want. You don't have to use ManyChat. ManyChat's just the one that I happen to use. Why ManyChat versus Chat Fuel? It's what I got started on. And I think it's a little more, I think the user interface is a little bit better, although I think the Chat Fuel guys are doing a real good job too. I think ManyChat was built more for marketers. Dolan says he's in. Oh, thanks, man. Will Zipify/Shopify integration work? Yes, I already answered that question. Can I offer this as a service? Yes, you totally should offer this as a service. How to create a website. It seems like that is crucial in making Facebook Messenger work. Yeah, I'd go check out my Zipify Pages app for how to create a website. When will the professional recording be done? I don't know. Depends on, what we learn from the first time we run it. But I would definitely say not for a couple months after the beta is done. Do all your Zipify products work only with Shopify? Yes, they're only for Shopify. We just focus on that because that's what we're good at. Yes, I will review your specific messaging flows in the beta. If you bring them and ask me questions, I'll totally do that. What is Google's version of Messenger? I don't know. I don't think it's out yet. They don't have one that I know of. Facebook really is killing them in this sort of social content area. They tried Google Plus and that just got shut down. Is there a payment plan? Yes, there is a payment plan. But by the way, if you can't afford a $9.97, then don't buy it. I don't want your last dollar, right? Like I'm gonna be selling this, in 6 months for $1,500. So if you don't have the money now and you're feeling real strapped, just wait until you're a little more flush and then come back and buy it, later. You won't get the discount. You won't be a part of the beta, but that's okay. Like I don't want your last $997. I really, really don't. So I only want. I only want that if it's surplus. If you have the money to invest in growing your brand, then join the course. If you don't have the money to invest in growing your brand, don't. Is $9.97 the price, or is it going to go up? Yes, it's going to go up as soon as the beta closes. I think we're closing sales for the beta on Tuesday, whatever day that is. It might be like, let's see, what day is Tuesday? So we're going to close on Tuesday the 9th. Yeah, so at that point, you won't be able to get in anymore. And the next time we offer it for sale will be $1,500. For those who are consultants who sell sales calls, have you seen chatbot flows to fill up a sales calendar? I have. I have seen that. I bet you Molly Pittman in her masterclass will be able to include that. So Ezra, am I understanding correctly with JSON ads that when someone clicks on the ad, they are sent to a landing page related to the ad? No. So when they click on the ad, they receive a message. That's what happens, right? So they receive a message from the chatbot as soon as they click on the ad. That's the only thing that happens. Then they respond to that message and they become a subscriber, and then they go over to a landing page. Is your Facebook video ads mastery yes. Okay. Will the bonuses be available if we buy it on Tuesday? Yes, they will. When is the latest we can still buy this and get access to the bonuses? So the latest that you can buy this is we're going to close it down Tuesday night, and that's at that point it's closed. And we're not the kind of people who just like, hey, this is going away, and then it doesn't actually go away. That's not how we roll, Like I'm doing this beta, and I'm going to have it open till Tuesday night, and then I'm going to close it. I'm going to run the beta with the folks who wanted to be a part of the beta, and then at some point, when I've had a chance to go back and re-record it, I'll reopen it and I'll charge $1,500. That's how we'll do it. Okay. Would this work for selling info products? 100%. A lot of info product marketers. Digital Marketer has a ton of content on how people are using ManyChat to sell, Facebook Messenger to sell info products. A lot of folks are using it. A lot of folks. Let's see. I know your funnels include content, videos, articles, etc. Will I be able to create content without? Oh, I take it back. Colleen just texted me. She's my COO, and she's on this call. She says we're not closing until Wednesday the 10th. So, you have until Wednesday the 10th. Okay. I'm seeing a ton of the same questions for some reason. Let me see. Nancy says, you talk about doing good while making money, yet you never talk about what you do in charity or good works. I did hear a story about helping someone with a prosthetic leg a few years ago. I believe that good deeds that you do, you don't need to boast about them. I think, in fact, boasting about them reduces their value in the world. What does that actually do other than have people think you're awesome, right? Like, I don't need the validation of sort of bragging about what I'm up to in the world. What I need is to feel good about what I'm doing. And if I feel good about it, then that's enough for me. And so you're right. I don't brag a lot about the good stuff that we do, the charitable works that we do. And frankly, I think that's better. And so I choose not to share that stuff. And so, and by the way, the serve the world unselfishly and profit tagline is a description, right? It's not a prescription. I'm not prescribing that to you, saying you should go do that. I'm saying this is my viewpoint. If you serve the world unselfishly, you will profit. That is a viewpoint. That is a statement, right? It's a description. It's not a prescription. So there's that response for you. Let's see. So, can you use the system with a couple of products while we're growing? Absolutely. Let's see. James is in. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull up a list of the folks who have joined and call them out and welcome them. Colleen, actually, I'm not able to get onto Infusion, so if you could send me names of people who've joined so I can call them out, I'll do that. How would you export Messenger subscribers from ManyChat to apps like Zipify Messenger? You can't really export messengers to another app. That's not really something you can do. So, when will the course, let's see, I don't know. I answered that one already. How do you send broadcasts that aren't sales as an e-commerce store? Facebook won't allow promotional broadcasts. It's not actually true. Facebook will allow promotional broadcasts. Even after the 24-hour window, they'll allow one more message. We send blog post content, engagement content. In fact, Facebook is so lax about this at this point that there's one company that literally just messaged me like every 3 days during the holiday season. Like, are you sure you still don't want to buy from us? Hey, we still have stuff for sale. Are you sure you still don't want to buy from us? Like, I just actually left their messages on. I didn't unsubscribe or even report spam because I just wanted to see how many times they would send me a promotional broadcast. And they literally sent me like 15. So again, the rule, it's the wild, wild west right now, Will Zipify take place of ManyChat for your training in the future? I don't think so. I don't think Zipify Messenger is going to be like just a full-on messaging broadcast service. I think it's going to be more about communicating with people who are in the flow of purchase in your website and communicating with them based off of what they have done. Alexander Berezowski is in. Karen Thomas is in. David Polk is in. Thank you guys so much for being part of the training. Bo Winya, Charles Farrell. Thanks for being a part of Smart Facebook Messenger. Really appreciate it. Carrie Tomter is in Smart Facebook Messenger. She's just joined. Thank you for joining. You're going to love the class. So I'll tell you what, guys. I am starting to have a little pain in my shoulder from having been hunched over my computer. So I'm going to go ahead. Joffrey Hand, Devin Davis are in. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I apologize I didn't get to more of your questions. I got to as many as I could. Again, 4 weeks live with me, smartmarketer.com/go. Get a 33% discount, only $9.97. Be a part of Smart Facebook Messenger Beta. Or not, if it's not a fit right now, that's okay too. My name is Ezra Firestone from smartmarketer.com. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful new year.